tonight. From Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals taking on Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League takes us to the Queen City of Cincinnati and Paul Brown Stadium right on the banks of the Ohio River. This crowd loves their orange and black. The scene just a short time ago, they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football as the Bengals get set to do battle with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gordon. To my left, Charles Davis. And Charles, you focus on this Bengal team entering play. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Fall is in the air, and the NFL season is in full swing, and we're underway here in Week 4. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
For the first time, the Jacksonville Jaguars set to go here on offense, led out by the new face of the franchise, the #1 overall pick, of course, from this year's draft. It's Trevor Lawrence out of Clemson.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there was also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an
And
interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
And they'll throw on first down with Lawrence.
And his throw is incomplete.
Laviska Shenault, the intended target.
And now it's second down. And, Charles, we get a look here at the key inactives, and I tell you what, a big list for being this early in the season.
And if there's any silver lining at all, you're hoping you can get these guys back, and now you'll play well down the stretch with them. But what you're also hoping is that the guys who have to play for them, the next man up mentality kicks in, and those guys take care of business.
That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. So opening drive, 3 straight runs, unable to pick up the first.
I know the fans want to see first downs, but guess what? The coaches have reasons for what they're doing. Sometimes they've scripted it, and some of these runs, while they haven't been successful now, they may be successful later on.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10.
Time to see the Bengals offense go to work, and leading them out, the #1 overall pick in the 2020 draft, Joe Burrow, now his 2nd season out of LSU.
And what a rookie season he had indeed. A knee injury knocked him out in Week 11 at Washington. And while the Bengals only won 2 of his 10 starts, I think everyone around the league and anyone who watched the NFL came away impressed. 13 touchdowns, just 5 interceptions, nearly 270 yards a game passing, the 3rd most by a rookie in NFL history.
And he ran right through 1 tackle as he fights forward for a gain of 7. The numbers for Mixon last week, 16 carries, 80 yards, and a touchdown.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw. Steps away to his left. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Well, this defense for the Jaguars, they were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. Couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it, rolling to his left. That one complete to the former Seminole, Auden Tate. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 34. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. And that is incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
And he is close to a first down as he's tackled at the Jaguars 27. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Now it's Burrow. Got a man. It's Chase. He completes it. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
Well, we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
They run for it with Mixon, going absolutely nowhere. He'll wind up losing a yard or 2. Denied on 4th down is Joe Mixon. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs. And defensively, they were ready for that, a full-on blitz on 4th down, and they stop him short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
They start on the ground with Robinson here. And not much here as he'll get it to the 11, maybe the 12-yard line.
A check-in on the numbers last week for Robinson.
Pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
On 2nd and 9, Lawrence completing it here to Marvin Jones. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Lawrence will throw. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
Throwing again here. It's Lawrence.
On the move to his left. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th. Here's Logan Cook now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Good coverage there. An even 50-yard punt leads to a return of 5. And the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their 2nd drive. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it.
And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow.
Don't worry about it, baby. I ain't worried about it.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Personal foul, roughing the passer for defense.
And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty, no question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty
I don't
would do
even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Evan McPherson now for the PAT.
And he's got it to make it 7-0 Bengals. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go.
They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much. Don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best and don't worry about the rest of it.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
Lawrence.
And a dump off here to Robinson.
And he will have a Jaguars first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, we've often talked, and rightly so, about how great a story James Robinson was last year. Undrafted as a running back, to over 1,000 yards rushing as a rookie. But what gets lost, especially for being a big man like he is, he's a great asset as a pass receiver too. 49 catches for close to 350 yards.
Set. 60 outlaw. Let's go. 50 seconds to Mike. 50 seconds to Mike.
They'll run on first down. Robinson. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Here's Lawrence to throw. Sets up the screen to Robinson. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
Boy, that was certainly well read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. Tackle him for just a short gain.
On 3rd down, Lawrence got his man complete over the middle. That's Arnold. And he'll get this up near midfield, but that's still a few yards shy of the first down. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
That pattern and scheme was well defensed on 3rd down. He tried to just sprint from one side of the field to the other, and they got it to him quickly. But no chance at yards after the catch there, and they stop him short.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 47. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Lawrence, he'll get this off to ETN. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Lawrence. Puts it on the carpet, it's out. But it looked like a Jaguar was able to cover this thing, and so Jacksonville will keep control. The fumble on 1st down, now here's 2nd down. Looking to throw, Lawrence. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. Now Lawrence to throw. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And the Bengals are going to take over here up near the 40. Now after After the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
Here we go.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
And how about the rapport that these two had last year as rookies? Exactly what the Bengals had in mind when they made Joe Burrow the first-round pick and T. Higgins the second.
So again from the 39, this time from the other side of the field. Here's 1st and 10. Now it's Burrow. Forced out to his left. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time. And then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard.
Watch time. Time is right. Watch time.
Here's Burrow. Steps away. That is caught. It's Uzama. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a first down.
And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
To throw again on 2nd down, Burrow. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
This is caught. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room.
Ready?
In your face. 44.
Final play of the half for Burrow and company. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Holding offense.
So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
So we've reached halftime here in the Queen City, and it's the Bengals leading this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, Charles, thanks very much. Welcome in, everybody, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's take a look at what we've got on tap as we wrap up the first quarter of the NFL season. We'll start in the early window and begin up in Minneapolis. A tough one for the homestanding Vikings as they'll match up against the Cleveland Browns. Later in the afternoon, a lot of the country will be watching the game at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, where it'll be the Packers taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Then, on Sunday night, the one everyone's talking about, Brady and the Bucks heading to New England to take on the Patriots. Do not miss that one. Meanwhile, in our game, just the lone touchdown accounting for all the scoring. A tight one, 7-0 is the score. And for the call of the second half, we send it back to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. And Wilson is perfectly content to bring this out to the 25, a touchback. So here are the Bengals set to take over. They lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football. The Bengals drive about to get going. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys are tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Burrow out to his left. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On 2nd and 9, Burrow. He's going to have the hook up here to Chase. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front, and a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Jags take over in terrific field position. Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? Hey, you want to go for it here? We shut you down. They're over on the bench right now feeling great.
A snap to Lawrence as he taps this forward. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. From the 28, it's 2nd and 5. From the gun, it's Lawrence. Finds the open target, Arnold.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Open man right side is Shark. And he's brought down.
DJ Chark, a Pro Bowler and a 1,000-yard receiver in 2019, saw his numbers dip a bit last year as the Jaguars cycled through some quarterbacks. He's happy to have Trevor Lawrence in town and accepts the pass from him there.
They'll try and run. This is Robinson. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. James Robinson, his 5th touchdown now.
Jaguars have a chance to tie the ball game here in the final minute of the third. Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. That time a 6-play drive, and it results in a touchdown for Jacksonville. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Brandon Wilson now from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Cincinnati's offense coming back here onto the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did. And that, Charles, you'd have to think a pretty avoidable mistake.
You're exactly right about that, partner, because it all comes down to covering up the football. Look, turnovers are going to happen. They're inevitable. But in a tie game in the third quarter, those turnovers can change the tide of the ball game. And now it's up to their defense to try and bail them out. Got to take care of the rock. That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Lawrence. He'll find Etienne out of the backfield. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the gun on 3rd down, Lawrence rolling to his left. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
As a rookie quarterback, that's exactly how you endear yourself to your teammates. Give it up for the cause. It's also how you end up on the training table, too.
Yeah, it's a catch-22. Coach doesn't like it. Teammates love it. Where do you fall on it?
Well, I fall on wanting to endear yourself to your teammates, but pick your spots. Be smart about it. They need you for the full season.
Yeah, the rookie's going to learn as he goes. On 2nd down now. It's Robinson. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? They turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let it get away.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. On the delay, it's Mixon. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the 1st down. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. A first carry for Samaje Perine, and he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
T. Higgins was the intended target.
And it's 3rd down.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds the defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback. I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A big connection on that one. 34 yards.
Oftentimes now offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Out of the gun, it's Burrow on the move to his left. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 12. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30. I tell you what, credit is due there on them preventing the touchdown after that interception.
How about him chasing him down and not giving up the pick 6? Because what happens a lot of the time is when you see the interception, you just kind of hang your head a little bit and you momentarily pause because you're frustrated. He shook that off and gave great chase and got it done.
Still a great return and very good field position. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Again, it's Robinson. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there. An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
On 3rd down, here's Etienne. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. Crossbar, and it kicks back out. Needed maybe a foot or 2, but it's no good as it stands. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the 4th. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise, and that'll deny him a shot at 3.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 37. Now Burrow steps away. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield.
Normally we're talking about a quarterback duel where they're matching each other pass for pass. How about the footwork in this one? Both of these guys running the ball well.
Yeah, they mixed in the run game. You're exactly right. Now, both coaches might not like how much their quarterbacks have taken off, but another... And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 12. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He got outside the pocket there trying to improvise, and he was calling for the ball downfield, but still the interception.
I think what happened, he did call for the ball thinking that he was open, but I think the quarterback spotted him too late. And that margin that he had on the defenders, that got eaten up, and they came up with the interception.
2nd and 2. Now Lawrence. Robinson's got it. Runs through the contact. Oh, and that a very short gain. They do get a first, but short pickups, not what they're looking for. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. On 1st down, Robinson. And he'll be taken down as that'll net him only about a gain of 9. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. From the 36, Lawrence. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game.
So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long. Lawrence going to keep it again.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And it's fielded at the 34. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Wait a second, that's got to be a mistake. They declined it.
That doesn't make any sense, right? I mean, it doesn't at all, because you want that penalty. All right, they just picked up a 1st down, right? You want the penalty.
I am so confused right now. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
Brandon Wilson to return it. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now.
60 yards rushing for him now as he is just trying to will his guys to an overtime victory.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. From the gun, a give to Mixon. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line. They've had some success here in overtime with this opening drive running the football. Right back to that well.
And why not? When you have that kind of success, make them stop you. And until they do, keep going back to that well you just spoke about. I think there's more water there available to them.
Hoping to keep this OT drive alive. Now they face a 3rd and 2. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up.
And Mixon not going to get there. Running into a wall here, and they'll stop him short.
Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
So a big move here, playing to win in overtime. They're going to go for it on 4th down. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line.
That was 4th and what we would call long in that situation, wasn't it? That wasn't 4th and inches, was it?
No, I mean, you get in those situations, 4th and 3, 4th and 4. That's a lot to, what would you say? A lot of pizza left in that box.
There certainly is. Not everyone dove in on that one. In today's NFL, this is a passing down. All right, this is not a running down. That takes a lot of guts to call that play, and even better execution.
2nd and 4.
Now Pirine. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. Now another timeout called for by the offense. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. They'll run again with Pirine. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. Now a look at Smith. Not sure exactly what happened, but he's still down. We'll check on his status when we get back. First throw in overtime now for Burrow. Dancing to his left. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and a game winner in OT. We needed extra time to decide this one. The rushing score in OT finishes it off, but all throughout, really just a great game to witness.
I agree, and the whole time we were watching and working on this game, I had it in the back of my head. We could get to overtime. Just the way this game went, the ebb and flow of it all, and then to get there and finish it what I would call an old school way, a running play, because in today's NFL, we throw the ball to ring the bell, don't we?
Not there. They ran it in. And again, just a great, great game that we bore witness to. So for the Bengals, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll get a few extra days to savor this one before they take on the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they also will exit this one at 2-2. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Tennessee Titans. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.